One of the number one things that I find is a gap in organizations, no matter what size I'm working with. If it's a 20-person organization and even everybody might even be in the office together, or they're all on Zoom all day long together, up to a 400 or 500 person organization, often what's missing is consistent feedback loops. So what we might see is a two-way communication that you give a space for people to give answers on, like an employee engagement survey every year. That can give feedback. You might have a forum in a town hall or maybe an online forum where people can give and submit questions. So you're saying, well, that's out there, right? And you might even say, hey, yeah, that's consistent. Like every time we're in the room with folks, virtually or in person, we have the opportunity for them to ask questions. So I would say a few things about this. One is let's make sure that those communication loops are very intentional and let's make sure they're working, right? So the first one is let's make sure they're intentional. So how do people best communicate within these different opportunities for communication? I would say in a group forum, that a staff level like all employee town meeting, that's a pretty scary place for people to be able to communicate. That doesn't mean you avoid it, but you think about mechanisms that they can submit their information or their questions that they have in an anonymous way, right? So the best things to do this might be even a survey tool that you send out before the meeting. If people aren't yet accessing email in your organization consistently, then if they have smartphones that you're allowed to just have them on their body, right, as they're walking in, have them grab a QR code and give a couple of pieces of feedback as they're walking into the meeting. Even slips of paper that are available in every chair with a pen, and they just kind of pass them in and people, and there's quick, plenty of space. People know how to go grab those, bring those up to the front, be able to have a forum where you're giving that feedback. So that shows more intentionality. The other thing too that I think is important about intentionality, and this also bleeds into if it's working, is are you asking good questions? So if you're asking questions that are, you might just say, share any questions you have. And some people might, some people not. Some people will use that as an opportunity to vent and give you all sorts of different things that are not solutions. And then you get frustrated and they're still frustrated, right? So not a huge outcome there. So opening it for general questions is fine. But I think asking some open-ended questions that are targeted maybe to the topic that is at hand. So like, hey, you just communicated some big business initiative and you could say, give me some information about what obstacles you see as we roll this out. What are some of the number one things that are most critical for you as you consider, moving this forward? Or if I was to ask you today to implement this, what questions would you still have that would leave you uncertain or unclear? So those are key pieces to really help get the right response for what you need. And then it gives that general space maybe is after that. So you're getting good two-way communication on a particular topic, and then you're adding those pieces in following. The other thing to consider in terms of the consistency is where do employees be able to have that opportunity? And I don't necessarily mean an open comment box or an open survey. Those are fine if that's something that you can show some sort of active response to. But this might be just within the time that you bring people in for a brainstorming session. You have breakfast with a senior leader. Group of people come and they have a chat with you. You're walking and out on the floor or in the office area or on the manufacturing floor, and you're talking to different folks and just asking some good quality questions to say, what are some of the issues that you run into every day? What are some workarounds you put in place because some of our processes aren't as ideal, right? You can ask some good questions to get some good answers there.